Oh, welcome to the D&D Podcast, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Dante.
I'm Dallas. And you already know, this is the most talked about podcast around. We hope I was going to say that.
Hi, my name...
So, anyway, last week, we had a couple of games that happened.
We did.
Like Georgia and Florida, Ole Miss and Auburn.
Mm-hmm.
And I was right on my prediction. He was almost right on his prediction. You know, Georgia found offense and Ole Miss found offense. So and Auburn still hasn't found theirs. So if any Auburn fans have found an offense out there, please let Gus Malzahn know.
In a hurry.
So just call him at 1-800.
I bet y'all Auburn fans are getting scared.
1-800.
Ole Miss is gonna get y'all. Ole Miss is still gonna get somebody for the year we watch.
Mississippi State at the end.
Yeah, they gonna get Egg Bowl. They gonna win the Egg Bowl.
So Georgia reclaimed the East, and Georgia fans act like they won the national championship. That's what they were acting like.
Say that.
That's what
we don't. Well, look, Georgia, Florida had a chance to win the game. The reason why I picked Florida because I felt like it was Florida's time to beat Georgia, but I was wrong on that, and I still like Florida. By the way, I'm not just gonna write them off because they're still a good team. I mean, Dan Mullen, Florida had a chance to win though. And for all the Georgia fans, you guys won by a touchdown. I mean, let's pump the brakes on y'all. Georgia, to me, Georgia didn't dominate or nothing. They just won by a touchdown. They just made one more play than Florida did. So all that celebrating on the sideline like y'all won a national championship. I mean, you still got to play Missouri. And y'all might be surprised who I might pick in that game.
Yeah. Missouri's been, they've been kind of hit and miss this year on certain games. They went on a 5-game winning streak, and then they lost to Vandy. So, but anything can happen. College football is crazy. So, we done enough talking about Auburn. Auburn this year. And I also want to say something like the video that we posted of me ranting about Gus.
His rant
got 61 views in 2 or 3 days, and that's just, and it's still getting views. So if you don't watch that video, it'll be in the little suggestion box. So, but a lot of Auburn fans are mad. They checked out. They're gone. Hashtag they checked out.
Man, Gus better do something quick, man, before he wind up like Willie Taggart.
We're gonna talk about Florida State in a minute. But so yeah, we'll save Auburn talk for next week because Auburn Georgia is gonna be our game of the week. So we'll transition into our next topic. Big news that came in the NCAA about athletes getting paid, which won't really happen until 2020. So, what do you think about it?
This should have happened years ago. I feel like all these universities, they're making so much money off the players. They should give some of that money back. I think that the NCAA, they're in trouble because they don't want to pay the player. They feel like, look, you guys go to class, you graduate, you move on to the next level, but you don't know what these players, you don't know what they're doing. They might need a couple of bucks to for the week to buy food and stuff like that. So this should have happened.
This is what I've done research on. Like student athletes, they only get to work amount of like 16 hours, and they can only get hired like in the school bookstore or the library.
That's ridiculous.
And they can't. So really, like, football is their job because they can't have any other job because they'll break the rule of NCAA getting paid. They can't have endorsements, but yet they're on every commercial, they're on every preview, they're on every television show.
And don't get paid for it at all.
And their names are out there, like, and people were talking about, like, the highest valued autograph this year was Joe Burrow. Like, people paid money to get Joe Burrow's autograph, but Joe Burrow didn't get no money off of it. Tua didn't get any money off of it.
How much money? How much money you think the NCAA should give them?
See, I don't know if they're going to start paying them like that. I know they're going to get endorsement deals.
I mean,
I know that's number one.
So
I don't know how they're going to work it out.
So Dallas Johns, you get an endorsement deal. Let's say you get $1 million endorsement deal.
Oh yeah,
and you playing college football.
Then they're gonna. I don't know if the NCAA they'll probably have it worked out next year. I know they had.
Because somebody gonna want to like Tua, if he like somebody gonna want to give this man $100 million endorsement deal. Like somebody's gonna want to pay this man six figures.
A lot of people like Mark Richt said that athletes getting paid, it'll make them stay longer.
Yeah.
Like they won't run to the NFL.
Yeah.
Their sophomore year, like Johnny Manziel, and junior year, they'll stay all 4 years for 5 years, and they'll be making money back then, and then they'll make a name for themselves, then go to the NFL and make even more.
Mm-hmm.
So
I agree.
If NCAA goes to a salary based, if they do that, I don't know, but
that'd be crazy though, because if you talk about salary, they'll get paid once a month.
But it'll be like...
And so you would have to pay them $24,000, $25,000.
I don't know if they worked out all the bugs yet. Now the bill allowed them to have endorsement deals to start off. So they might work out the other bugs later. And then now they can get paid for their autographs. They can get paid for their jerseys. Yeah. They can have their names on the jerseys. We can go buy their names on jerseys.
So
now.
The university and the NCAA gonna have to cut a check then.
Oh yeah.
So they gonna be getting paid by the school and by the NCAA, because the NCAA don't make money too off March Madness, the college football playoff, the tournaments and all that.
Bruce Pearl and other basketball coaches, Calipari, they said it should have happened years ago.
Yeah,
because March Madness, they make multi-million-dollar.
Yeah.
With CBS, with TNT, mm-hmm. I mean, all these TV deals. I mean, now the athletes can start getting endorsement, like commercials. They can start.
And for one thing about this better not be just for Division I. It better be for Division II, Division III, community colleges, and everywhere. It needs to trickle down.
Tariq Cooper wanted an endorsement deal
exactly.
from LSU. I mean, he could get one.
Exactly.
And I mean, which there's a lot of. And it also brought up the thing about the colleges in the past paying players.
Exactly.
Everybody brought that up.
Exactly.
But now, since they can get paid, I mean, they're gonna bring it up now.
Yeah.
But
the NCAA, they're in trouble here, and to me, the NCAA, they're gonna lose money if you look at it, and that's what they're afraid of. They don't want to lose any money.
They're not gonna lose money because you got the playoff. You got Dr. Pepper. You got all the sponsors. Yeah, you got Under Armour.
But
you got so many sponsors.
But they're gonna lose.
You know how much the playoff and just the commercials. The playoffs are gonna be as big as the Super Bowl, I think, because of the commercials, how they get the high name people in the commercials, mm-hmm. like Super Bowl.
Yeah.
It's gonna be as big as the Super Bowl, and I predicted that when they first had it because they started all those new commercials when the playoffs came.
Yeah, well, I feel like Mark Embry, the president of the NCAA, he needs to really really, 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 really get this thing going. And I'm kind of glad because me and you can finally get a chance to play a college football, college basketball. The games are going to start coming back, so I'm excited about this.
Right. If EA can stop screwing up Madden. I mean, cause they. But yep. That news, and then Joey Gatewood leaving Auburn, and he just made an official visit yesterday to Kentucky.
You know what? I was gonna say this, but I'm gonna save it. I'm just gonna say this. Gatewood to Kentucky will be dangerous. That will be dangerous, bruh.
Because I mean, they got running back, Corpse. They got that wide receiver. They got a decent defense.
The only thing about this though, Dallas, I'm kind of disappointed in Kentucky, bro, because like last year they were so close to playing in Atlanta for the SEC championship, and I feel like this year, bro, like they
could
took
have done it this year if they would have beat Florida.
But do you feel like, to me, and I'm asking you this, I think they took a little bit of a step back, bro. Like, think about it.
I think they just had missed opportunities because they had Georgia held 0-0 at halftime.
That's true. That's true. I can.
It's just like Ole Miss. Like you were talking about Ole Miss. Ole Miss, they were a pass drop or two from winning every game this year.
Yeah,
except for Alabama, which that would have been one loss. They had multiple passes in the Auburn game where it would have gone for 6 if he wouldn't have dropped it.
That would have been the sickest feeling ever if Ole Miss would have won that game.
And then all you Auburn fans would check out. I would. I mean, I wouldn't check out on the team, but for that game I would.
But I don't know. I think they took a step back. I do like what he said, missed opportunities, but you can't go from what you did last year to what you are this year.
They didn't have the same quarterback.
Well, that's true. You do lose. I didn't.
That's also with the rankings. Like,
yeah.
Alabama's different. Alabama and LSU, they hardly lose anybody.
Yeah.
Auburn, if they're ranked number one in one season, all their guys are going. If Ohio State and Georgia, same thing.
Yeah.
It's just, which that's kind of weird too. I don't know why they base the rankings off of. They base it off of recruiting, the recruiting class, and their strength of schedule.
Well, but Nick Saban said something that I think rings a bell. Like when all of that, like all the players that left Georgia, like left Kentucky, were any of them first round picks? Was there a first round pick? Okay, exactly.
No, they're probably playing, but they're not like.
So why won't you come back to school? That's my question. And then you could have had the same team as last year and then been in the exact predicament that you were. This
and
close.
Then their draft stock wouldn't win.
Exactly.
I mean, I don't know. Maybe they just wanted to make quick cash.
And I listen. And we both get it. If we were in a situation where we had to support our families, and we know we had to go make the money.
And if you know that next year you'd have, let's say, this example, Tua or Burrow all these good classes like Derek Brown and stuff, like if you know like your draft number is going to be higher this year, then you might go this year.
Yeah, but
which like that's been the thing about Auburn too. When we've had good players, they've went to NFL, and then you just don't hear about them. I mean,
yeah, that's the same way with Alabama quarterback.
Unless with like the people you're still talking about is on like the Patriots, like Jonathan Jones. He just signed a 2-year deal,
yeah.
And then Whitehead, who got booted off the team for what he said on Twitter.
Yeah, but I just want to say one more thing about Gatewood. Gatewood's a good quarterback though. Like I told you in a previous video that I think Gatewood feels like he's better than Bo.
Mm-hmm.
And he really had to just leave and go see for himself, really.
And this is the thing, like when you're sitting on the sideline and you see a quarterback that makes one pass for no yards, I mean, you're gonna leave.
Yeah.
You're gonna think, I get it, like you don't want me.
Yeah, but I told Dallas, like, one of those quarterbacks were gonna transfer. I told you that.
I didn't know it was gonna be all of them. It was practice. 7 quarterbacks has transferred since the start of the season. 7 under Gus Malzahn. This is like people, Alabama fans, people tell me, like, if you see people transferring from a team, there's something within that team something's wrong. They don't want to be there.
Yeah.
But we've ranted about Gus so much, his ears are probably steaming right now because we're talking about it.
Yeah.
But
he listens to this show later.
I hope so. But okay, you were talking about Willie Taggart. You know, he got fired.
Yes. Oh yes, man.
Did you like him?
No. Like I've been watching this. I've been really dissecting into this Florida State stuff, and this is my take on it. And I want to see, do you agree with me on this? Florida State to me is still a high profile job. It ain't one of those jobs to where you gotta rebuild and all of that, which now it is. But I've been reading this that, like, they say Jimbo Fisher left it a mess.
Oh yeah, he left before he got fired.
Yeah. So they say Jimbo left it as a mess, but I'm gonna tell you a name that I think is gonna be the next coach of Florida State. But if I was the AD, these would be my 4 guys. Bob Stoops, Mark Stoops, Lane, and Gus will get a phone call. And out of those 4 guys, I'm taking a defensive-minded coach, and I'm going to take Mark Stoops. Mark Stoops was the defensive coordinator under Jimbo Fisher while he was there. And that's why I think Mark Stoops
Mark Stoops was linebacker coach for a second.
Will go back to Florida State. So Mark Stoops is the guy.
It's funny you said Mark Stoops because a lot of Auburn fans, which this guy got hired or he got interviewed last year, they were saying that Bob Stoops would come to Auburn.
And you know what? If Gus got fired today, Auburn will probably have Bob
Because
Stoops.
see, they called him, and they called Dabo Swinney last year when they were under pressure, and then he won the bowl game. They didn't fire him. So see, the week before that, people probably don't know. Dabo got a call. He got an interview. Bob Stoops got an interview, and somebody else that got an interview.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody that was on Saban's staff as an analyst or something. He got interviewed.
And I'm gonna say this, and there are some more names out there. I'm just gonna bring up one more name that I'll probably call, but I'll give an interview. Probably be Penn State, James Franklin, which I don't think he's gonna leave Penn State.
He's not gonna leave. I mean, Vanderbilt, they squandered him away. I mean, they didn't squander him away, but like
the way he left though, like he left.
He left when they went 12-1.
And they beat, who did they beat that year? They beat somebody like. Did it? No.
They beat everybody except for Alabama. They didn't play Auburn that year. They beat Georgia that year.
Yeah,
they beat
that's
Georgia,
the big win.
But they lost to Alabama, so like they couldn't go to the SEC championship.
And listen, Lane, like the only reason why Lane Kiffin wants to get away from FSU is because he's not doing anything down there. Lane, I would not hire Lane Kiffin.
People were talking about if Gatewood went to Florida State and Lane went to Florida State and Lane hired a coordinator, like Florida State would be, that'd be.
That's where Gatewood gonna go when Mark Stoops go. Gatewood if Gatewood goes to Kentucky, I guarantee he goes to Florida State with Mark Stoops.
Yeah, people have been saying he's gonna go.
I like Mark Stoops.
And,
I really do.
But people also said if Gatewood goes to Kentucky, Auburn plays Kentucky next year, but I don't see why they said that because Gatewood won't be playing next year.
And when Gus is like, look, if I'm Gus and Florida State calls, pick up the phone.
He'll go to Arkansas. That's the only place he wants to go. That's the only place he wants to go. He should have went in 2017. He should have just took all the money they had and just took a pay cut or something.
Willie Taggart right now is sitting at home making, I think they say $20 million because of the buyout laws. But
where did he come from?
I don't know
South Florida?
I don't know where they got Willie Taggart.
Willie Taggart.
South
He
Florida.
was at Southern Florida. Then he went to Oregon.
Yeah.
When he had that good, he was the Oregon defense or offense.
Willie Taggart's making $17 million.
Comment where Willie Taggart's from because we don't know.
But it's like Florida State. Like, I will coach at Florida State, bro.
I would too.
Like, that's a good job to have.
I mean, I don't like Florida State, but I would go there if they called me to coach there.
Because think about it. The only team you really got to beat in the ACC is Clemson. That's the only team you really got to beat. I mean, well, you got North Carolina.
You're gonna get a playoff bid.
Yeah, because it's And
it's like, I mean, they ACC, Big Ten, and then SEC.
I'm gonna tell you another job that's gonna come open too in the ACC, and it's gonna be Miami by this year. Miami, watch. I guarantee Miami.
I was thinking who would go to Miami.
Who wouldn't? It's Miami, bruh. You got the beach right across the street. You got it's sunny, it's warm. Mm-hmm. Who wouldn't want to coach in Miami, bro? But Mark Stoops to me will be the next coach of Florida State. Bob Stoops will be the next coach of Auburn, and I'm gonna say Urban Meyer goes to Miami.
That's who I was thinking about. I was thinking about Urban Meyer, which he probably won't coach for another year. He'll probably. He's still at Ohio State. He's got some job as a teacher.
Yeah, he's a teacher over there.
But and then more news, or not really news, but the first playoff rankings came out.
No Lord.
And they put Ohio State as number 1. LSU at number 2. Bama at number 3. And they put Penn State at 4. Clemson at 5 and Georgia at 6. Do you agree with the committee?
That's the committee.
That's what I picked. Committee is it's Ohio State, LSU, Bama, Penn State, Clemson, Georgia. That's the top.
I disagree,
6.
but
it's gonna change because Alabama and LSU didn't play.
Yeah.
Ohio State and Penn State will have to play.
Yeah.
Clemson's gonna play South Carolina.
Yes.
And Florida State.
I think you know what. I know it's late, but I think South Carolina might get Clemson. I really think that.
I mean, or Florida State if they can look up. Wait, no, they already played.
Yeah.
My bad. They already played 28-0.
I think. Yeah, I really think South Carolina's gonna get Clemson this year. But
I don't know. A lot of people are writing Clemson off. They're writing them off. Which Dabo said. Dabo's been taking. I like Dabo, but he's been taking shots at SEC.
That's what I'm
crazy.
Saying. Like
he said who's Alabama played. He said, of course Alabama is going to be healthy. They don't play nobody. This is what he said.
But see, this is my thing about Swaney, Dabo. The only reason why Dabo is really talking because he can beat Alabama. That's the only reason why he's talking. And he beat Alabama twice, 2 times. We 2-2, Dabo. We 2-2. We 2-2. You got us twice. We got you twice, and you won last year. Okay, and you ran the
But
scoreboard.
it's the same with Auburn. Against Alabama schools, it's just 2-2. I mean,
but Dabo can't do no talking though, because who has Dabo played? I mean,
well, he's played Auburn.
I mean,
He's played Alabama. He's played A&M.
Yeah, but
he played Georgia.
Yeah, but okay.
He schedules the SEC teams, and then he says this. But the SEC teams at the time are. This goes all back to strength schedule.
Yeah.
SEC teams at the time are good.
Yeah.
But then you find out later in the year, like A&M.
You find out who's really good.
They're not. That's why strength of schedule, I think, shouldn't really matter.
Yeah. Because by the end, late in the year, you practically know what type of team you have. Right?
You can tell. Like, look at Tennessee. Look at South Carolina. I mean, teams like those, it don't matter. Like, whatever conference you're in, you're going to have tough. It's going to be tough for no matter what team.
Yeah.
Especially in the SEC, I mean,
it's tough.
Every team is good.
Yeah, because if in the SEC, you really can't take a day off, because if you have a bad game, Vanderbilt can beat you.
I mean, Auburn, Ole Miss. Auburn was banged up. Ole Miss was healthy. So I mean, and then it just you don't really know what's gonna happen. But what's your top 6? Since we're talking about rankings.
Well, these are my top 6. I got Ohio State at 1, Alabama at 2, Penn State at 3, LSU at 4, Clemson at 5, and Georgia at 6. But I just want to say one thing about LSU though. Damn, we didn't even talk about our game of the week.
What's next?
Oh, my fault. I'm jumping ahead of the narrative.
What's next?
I know the biggest game of LSU's lifetime is coming up. But do you think, and I've seriously been thinking about this, do you think the reason why they're ranked so high is because everybody's hyping them up? Is this all because of hype? Is LSU all because of hype?
No, I mean, they're looking at, when they played Florida, Florida was ranked high. When they played Auburn, Auburn was ranked 9. I mean, they're looking at the. That's really the only two. Oh, and they played Texas. So those 3 wins right there, they're looking at. Like, oh, they beat Florida, they beat Texas, they beat Auburn. Which other team out there in this top 6, which Bama hasn't played Auburn yet. Bama hasn't played Florida. Bama hasn't played Texas.
But
they're looking at the top Power 5. They're going by wins by Power 5.
So if they beat Alabama
and a top 25.
Okay, let's just say they beat Alabama. You think they're gonna win it all? I don't think they're better than Ohio State, and I damn sure don't think
a lot of people
better
are
than Penn
thinking.
State.
A lot of people are thinking that LSU Ohio State being a national championship. I don't see that. I don't see it at all, because Ohio State struggled with Wisconsin.
But for years, this is why I'm saying hype. For years, we've been saying, where's the LSU offense? Where's the LSU offense? Where's the LSU offense? They go get Joe Brady, which I don't think is going to be the OC next year, because I think he's going to go back to the NFL. So, all of us.
And they got the defense coordinator from Wisconsin who won all those awards.
So,
I mean, Dave Aranda, he's good. He's a good defense.
And he's going to be I think he's going to be a head coach next year as well. So that's what I'm saying. I understand where you're coming from. You're looking at the 3 wins, but to me, is this hype though?
It could be, but the committee is just basing it off of those 3 wins right now. But this game next is going to see who the top dog is. We don't care Ohio State's number 1. We don't care Penn State's number 4. Yeah. This game is going to determine who is top dog of the nation.
Yeah, really.
Everybody's going to be watching this, and Alabama fans are nervous. Every Alabama fan I talk to, they're nervous.
Who wouldn't be, bro? But, see, Zach...
I'm not. I think Alabama... I'm just going to say my prediction. I said it last week. Alabama's going to blow LSU out.
You know what? Mike Greenberg said LSU don't stand a chance, bro.
I saw that, and I said, yes, somebody agrees with me. Mike Greenberg, I watched that this morning. And I posted it to a Facebook group, and I said, LSU blowout loss. People didn't believe me. They just commented like crazy. It's going to be a high-scoring game. Let me rant on Ed Orgeron. Let me rant on LSU. If LSU didn't run up score on Auburn, do you think they're going to run up score on Alabama? Do you think?
You know what?
With Auburn's offense not scoring, with only the defense,
you know what? You got a point there.
Do you think LSU's going to run up score on Alabama? Who has the more?
Because if you look at that game, dude, Auburn had chances. They could have scored 3 times.
Auburn could have won 42 to like 20.
Yeah, because they did have the ball a lot to score.
It's just
they just can't.
They
score.
couldn't figure out what they wanted to do. They couldn't figure out if they wanted to be run first, or they want to be pass first. Then they come out against Ole Miss, they want to be pass first.
But like Starsky, he in his mind, he knows like, look, we gotta hit first. Because I don't think if LSU gets down 17-0 early, I don't think they can come back from that. Because Alabama just gonna keep scoring. And they ain't saw the speed of Judy, Smith,
but
the receivers.
If LSU comes out and they run empty all game, is that gonna work?
No,
if
you ain't gonna be able to run that.
They ran that they run it all the time.
If you gonna spread Alabama out 5 wide, better hope.
Are they gonna do that, or is
Edward? That's the plan.
The Edward declare, is he gonna have a big running game like he did against Auburn?
Because see against Alabama, bro, you ain't gonna be able to run the ball against Alabama. Nick Saban is not gonna let you line up and you run and you have a 450-yard game. The plan for LSU is to come in. He gonna throw it around the park. It's been working. Why change it? Ed Orgeron said it himself. He trusts.
But
bro,
like I said, I think Burrow, like Mike Greenberg said, it has shown LSU when they've had good teams, they meet Alabama. I've said this.
Right.
I've said this. I've watched the only two. I watch Alabama too, but I watch a lot of Alabama LSU games. When they play LSU, when they meet Alabama, Alabama says no. Like, no, you're not it. Every year. It's just every year thing.
And
if you're a good team and you play Alabama,
and Nick Saban,
you lay an egg.
And Nick Saban's gonna have his football team ready. And don't think Nick Saban ain't gonna say something, a motivational speech to get the ready. And like LSU, this the game they want. Because they know if we beat Alabama, they practice saying we beat Alabama, ain't nobody beating us.
LSU was ranked. What were they ranked last year when they played Bama?
Well, it was high.
They were ranked 3, 4. They were ranked. Yeah. Were they ranked 2? They weren't ranked 2. They were ranked up there 3 or 4. And they played Alabama last year, got beat 29-0. They couldn't score, and Joe Burrow was on the field. He was playing. He had just transferred.
Yeah, and like if Burrow, like, I don't think he ain't gonna be able to. They ain't gonna be able to go 5 wide.
He's gonna have to run. He's gonna have to run the ball himself. If Eclair can't run the ball.
Yeah, and
if the running backs can't run the ball.
And for the defense, and I know that you have one of the greatest minds on the defensive side of the ball, but I haven't when I watch Alabama, ain't nobody stopping that slant. What you gonna do? If you jump the slant, and I was saying this to Zach, if you jump the slant, they gone. If you try to misread it or something, they gone. So what you gonna do? You got Judy over the top. You got Ruggs on the other side. They have not seen speed like this before.
And, all Alabama fans were saying about, Tua. We're worried about Tua.
Matt Jones can do the job, dude.
Well,
and I think, Tula knows, this is a Heisman Trophy moment right here. If he wins this game,
is he out of the Heisman race?
Well, for a minute he was the front runner.
This is what I don't understand about Heisman voting. Why are you gonna put a player on the Heisman watch before they even play a game? That's what I don't understand.
Because
Jalen, he was up there. Burrow.
Have you seen his number though?
Now, but at the beginning of the season, you didn't know how Jalen was gonna play.
Practically everybody knew he was gonna play like this. He said he's been working on his throwing, and then you can't. Lincoln Riley's a quarterback whisperer.
I know that, but if you're a Heisman voter, and you have no games have been played, I mean, can you really predict how a player is gonna play?
I mean, if I voted, my vote right now is still Tula. It'll be Tula, Jalen, and Burrow.
What about Fields?
Yeah, Fields is up there,
and then the Wisconsin running back.
Yeah, he's up there.
So, but anyway, y'all could already guess our picks. Alabama.
Yeah, I'm picking Alabama. And I'm picking Alabama.
What's the score? Since we both picked Bama, what was the score going to be? I said it's going to be a blowout. It'd probably be 38-0, 39-0. I mean, seriously.
So you really think that LSU is that bad of a football team?
They're not bad. It's just when you play Alabama, you better be ready to play. And in his Mike Greenberg said, you looking at Ed.
But really, Ed don't even know how to.
And they're playing in Tuscaloosa.
Yeah, that's gonna be.
Come on,
I see what you're saying. And then Alabama, I see what you're saying. I see. What
they're gonna be.
They're gonna be ready to play.
Alabama's receivers, they strike first and they strike quick, and they're gonna keep striking. It don't matter. What's that guy's name? Waddle. He could have an opening touchdown kickoff.
Yeah, the special teams, bro. They close to breaking one.
This team is complete. I'm an Auburn fan at heart, but Auburn doesn't match up. The only team we match up to this year is Georgia. That's it. But, Alabama, we hadn't matched up to them since 2010.
And you know
personnel for personnel.
I'm an Alabama fan. If Alabama come in here and they blowing out LSU, I'm turning the game off. And
everybody's going to be watching. I told people today, if you want to do anything on Saturday, you can go wherever you want to because everybody's going to be watching this game.
I'm doing the Stephen A. Smith. I'm rolling with the tide.
So, yeah, I mean, it's going to be a blowout, 38-0. LSU's not going to come in there and dominate. No way. They're not going to dominate. I think they could possibly match them. But they're not going to dominate. Everybody thinks, LSU's going to blow out Alabama.
Yeah, because there's a lot of people, for the first time in a while, there's a lot of people picking LSU to win this game.
There's no way it's going to be a high scoring. It might be match for match. It might be defensively match. But it's not going to be, let me throw the deep ball here playing and score.
I think the reason why Alabama fans are, vulnerable, because I don't think they're looking at the offense. They're looking at the defense. They saying the defense is young, inexperienced. They gonna give up multiple big plays. That's why most people are picking LSU because they see Alabama's defense. That's the reason why everybody's saying, "Well, I'm picking LSU." But look, Alabama had 2 weeks to get ready for this, so both teams had 2 weeks to get ready for this game. So, and I know Nick Saban will find a way to rattle Burrow. He will find a way to rattle him, dude. He will find a way.
So yeah, that's all we got for today. We hope y'all enjoyed. We hope y'all enjoy every week and tune in and subscribe to the YouTube channel. If you don't know where our podcast is on Anchor, it's on Spotify. You can go to Spotify, type in D&D Sports Podcast, and there we are. Listen to all the old episodes and new episodes and bonus episodes, whatever we got. So, y'all stay safe out there and enjoy the rest of the football season that we have left.
I'm rolling with the tide.